I am excited to talk to you about leadership development and helping your new social marketer, ambassador, distributor, independent business owner, whatever you call your people, your networkers, the people that you enroll, the people that you bring onto your teams. A big mistake that I see is we're putting too much pressure on that brand new person. We're pushing people way too hard, way too soon. We're like, hey, download all these apps and go through all this training. And the truth is, the reason they joined you, they didn't join someone else. They didn't join your upline. They didn't join your sideline. They joined you. There was some reason they got started, maybe multiple reasons, but they joined you. They didn't join any other distributors. They didn't join any other companies. They joined you. They joined your team. And you're the mentor. You are the one they joined. So you want to coach them through the onboarding process. Now, that does not mean you need to get on an hour-long Zoom with every new person. That doesn't mean you need to handhold them, even if they go through the training. I learned this 20 years ago when I first got started in network marketing, and they said people only retain 7 to 10% of what they hear the first time they hear it. They only retain 7 to 10% of what they hear the first time they hear it. So what does that mean? They got to hear it over and over and over and over again. But at the same time, I do think there's a lot of value in you getting really good clarity on where that person is in the process. What are their goals? What's their background? You know, what is it that they are focused on? Because the thing is, even if you have this amazing training and you're giving people what to post every day, you know, like we have a system in place where we give people what to post the first 120 days. You know, we give people all the tools. We have the ATM groups. We have the scripts. We have all this stuff. But again, it's an overwhelming thing for them to go through all of that training, download all the tools, know all the groups, the group chats. I mean, it's too much. It's way too much. It's awesome. It's amazing, but you can't expect people to independently go through all that training, go through all that information and go, I got it. This is easy, right? Obviously, that's not going to be the case. So my whole point is you want to help them with putting up their first couple posts, with launching their business. You want to know what the system is for? The system is for you. Like all the training that we have in our, guide 1, it's so good. It's so good. It is exactly what they need to launch their business. But again, the newest person is only going to retain 7 to 10% of that information. That means 90% of that information, 90% of what they go through, if they actually go through everything in guide 1, they're going to forget. They're going to forget it. So really the system is for you. And you might say, me? Yeah, you. Probably 80% of your team, they're going to be casual builders. They're going to put you in chats once in a while. They're going to get on the Saturday calls once in a while. They're going to pay attention to the chats and the promos and the new product launches once in a while. They're going to launch and quit. They're going to show up and disappear all the time. They're not committed. And listen, by the way, that's okay. You're going to do your best to get them to commit, to get them to plug in. You're going to try to do your best to help them create momentum in their business, help them rank advance, help them earn a check with a comma. You're going to try to taproot them because you're a leader and you know that every dud knows a stud, but some people just aren't going to do it. They're not going to invest in themselves. They're going to make excuses instead of make money. You can't drag anchors. What does that mean? What does it mean you can't drag anchors? If you're in a race, imagine you're in a boat race, but you got your anchor down. Do you have any chance of winning that race? The obvious answer is no. So you don't want to beg and convince people to plug in, follow the system. You don't want to revive the dead. It's easier to give birth than reviving the dead. Like I'm in 5 conversations just today alone with 5 new leads, 5 new people that reached out to me today. Just today alone, I had 5 conversations with people that asked about my business, ask what I do, how I make money on social media, if I can teach them, if I can give them some information about our products. Like I am still talking to new people every day. But again, I'm very well aware that people get easily overwhelmed. So as a mentor, as a sponsor, as their upline, their enroller, the one that's coaching them through this, I'm making sure that they downloaded the Boards app. I'm making sure they put up their first post. I'm asking them if they need help doing their first post, their OMG, I did a thing post. I'm asking them if they would like to interview me, or if they're okay with doing a Facebook Live launch video and sharing their story and talking about why they're starting this new business? Do they know which groups to add people to? Have they started reaching out to some of their key people? I'm following up. I'm on top of them. I'm reaching out. Why? Because I want them to succeed. Now, again, I'm not going to drag anchors. I'm not going to beg them to follow the system and be positive and be coachable, but I am going to do my best to take them through that process because I know the three main things. Listen, write this down if you're a leader or you're a wannabe leader. The three main things we want a new person to do is publicly announce their new business. Now, I did talk about this yesterday. I talked about the 3DW Facebook Live launch formula where they do the why, what, wow. I really want them to do those videos. I want them to do their OMG, I did a thing post. We also have something in our business called the spoon post. I try to get them to do a curiosity post promoting the spoon and the belly blaster. But again, I don't expect them to do all these posts on their own. Stop trying to automate the entire process. You can't automate mentorship. You can't automate relationship building. You can't automate them getting your guidance and customizing that conversation. Again, I want you to have the tools and the systems. I want you to have the scripts and all the things, but you can't expect people to do all of this on their own. That's why they enrolled with you. Does that make some sense? Stay in touch with them. And people are like, well, how do I know if they're coachable? How do I know if it's somebody I want to work with? Because they're reaching out to you. They're asking questions. They're responding when you reach out to them. When you give them homework, when you give them tasks, they do the work. They're showing up. They're plugged in. They're asking questions. Hey, they're putting you in group chats, right? They're introducing you to some of their business prospects. Like, there's nothing more exciting than when someone puts me in a chat. I know they're working. I know they're talking to people. I know they're coachable and they're getting themselves out of the way. Plus, you know, some of the best people, some of the most fantastic, amazing, incredible people that I get to work with today, many of them were introduced to me through someone else. Like, I didn't enroll that person. I enrolled the person that enrolled that person, or I enrolled the person that enrolled the person that enrolled the person that enrolled the person that enrolled them, right? Every dud knows a stud. Some of the best people came through me taprooting. You know why a lot of people don't build a team? A lot of people don't build a team because they don't feel confident in building their team. They don't feel confident in leading others. So that's why, again, as a leader, you step in and help them with that. All right. That's your role. So you want to get that new person. Oh my gosh. The sooner they publicly announce their new business, they do their why video, they do their OMG, I did a thing post, right? They create some curiosity around the product because it's easier to get a customer than it is to recruit someone. I'm not saying that's the case for everyone, but in general, it is easier to duplicate customer acquisition and leading with the product than it is leading with the business. The second thing you really want them to do is to start adding people to the ATM groups. If they're not adding people to the groups, what are they doing? They're not really growing a business or moving the needle if they're not adding people to the groups and tagging them in the testimonials. Like, they're not understanding the basic fundamentals of our business. If they're like, yeah, I'm doing all these things, it's like, okay, cool. How many people did you add to the ATM groups today? Well, today was busy. What about yesterday? What about this week? How many people did you ATM? Now, you'll get a couple of different answers. You might get, I don't know, which, hello, that means you're not treating it like a business. If you don't even know how many people you ATM, like I ATM'd 5 people today, and I don't need to ATM anybody. I'm literally doing the thing that I'm telling my team to do. I'm adding people to the groups. If you're not adding people to the groups, you're not going to move your business forward. You need people in your pipeline. We got to talk about pipeline. Who is in your pipeline? Who are you exposing to your products or to your opportunity? Which is what I tell you guys all the time. This is not network marketing as much as it is relationship marketing. How do you build your network? Through relationships, through being a good human. A human first, a marketer second. You go into groups with like-minded people, people that you would want to connect with. The third key is you want them to introduce you. They need to introduce you to prospects. If they're not introducing you to people, then they're trying to do it all on their own. You can't be the friend, the mentor, the one that's answering all the questions, selling them, enrolling them, then working with, they need to meet other people. I'm telling you, our goal is to get people to launch their business. Our goal is to get people to start ATMing their face off. Our goal is to start getting people to do group chats and introduce us to humans, get them committed to training, get them plugged into the system, all the things. All right. I hope you got value from this conversation. Stop overwhelming your new people. Stop overwhelming yourself. You don't need to know how to do everything before you do anything. You do not need to know how to do everything and understand everything before you do anything. Baby steps, baby feed yourself, baby feed your new people, help them get small wins, Help them focus on those 3 steps I told you about. Help them get their first few customers. Help them start ATMing. Help them with some group chats so they can earn while they learn. Even if they do 100 group chats and nobody joins, they're going to be so much more educated. They're going to have a better comprehension and more competence than they did before those 100 group chats. And by the way, if they ATM 100 people, they put you into 100 group chats and nobody signs up, you need to work on you. You need to get better at helping them make money and get, because there's something's missing, right? That's not good. But the point is, even if that did happen, you're going to be that much better after those 100 ATMs, those 100 conversations, those 100 videos, whatever it is. The sooner you get through that first 100, the better. And I promise you, by the time you get to 100, 200, 500, 1,000, like you'll be so much better. You won't even remember what it was like to struggle.